Coaching What Works in the Moment Classroom Coaching for K-12 Teachers. Got a moment? Hi everybody, welcome back. I'm Tricia O'Hara, a lifelong classroom coach and teacher in pre-K through 12 at-risk schools and the creator of Coaching What Works, what they didn't teach you in teacher training. If you are a teacher, any kind of teacher, then this message is for you. If you've seen our other free videos, you have a pretty good idea by now what we do. Our sole purpose is to help you optimize your teaching, to make real progress in closing that student achievement gap. We put tools based on significant foundational research into your hands and help you to reach skills proficiency easier, faster, better, so you can teach, no kidding, practically anything to practically anybody. Whether DIY or in peer coaching teams, you'll have surefire methodology that separates the successful teacher from the unsuccessful one. In this video, we're going to talk about coaching, specifically peer coaching, and then we're going to address some myths in our profession. But first, here's a pop quiz. True or false? Most teachers have rarely, if ever, seen another teacher teach. True. True or false? Most teachers have rarely, if ever, seen models of what they are asked to teach. True again. True or false? Most teachers have rarely, if ever, actively monitored all their students. That's true. True or false? Most teachers have misconceptions about explicit or direct teaching. True again. Want proof? Ask them. We're here to help you change that. Oh, speaking of change, I just want to thank you for the change you're helping to bring about through all the comments and questions you've been posting as part of this professional development product launch. Bottom line, teachers tell us every teacher needs to know this. This should be required professional development, and no new teacher should be given her first class until she knows this. When teachers talk, I pay attention. We're glad you're paying attention too. So I just want to say thanks. For those who don't know, here's my story. As a young teacher, I participated in early development of explicit teaching's powerful concepts, and I've been applying and refining them in K-12 at-risk classrooms ever since. I've trained teachers, coaches, paraprofessionals, and administrators in explicit instruction and other research-based practices through the National Institute for Direct Instruction, CORE, the Consortium on Reading Excellence, SRA McGraw-Hill, and at district, county, state, regional, national, and international levels of education. I've continued to delve into what emerging evidence tells us, what matters and what does not. What I found out is that applying foundational research really works. Like peer coaching, for example. The number one finding of the 2009 Gates Foundation study of 40,000 teachers is, can you guess it? The number one thing that teachers want is a supportive environment where they can work together. So do students, by the way. No wonder brain studies show that we are literally hardwired to connect with other humans. Daniel Goleman's 2006 book, Social Intelligence, explains how research in a new field called social neuroscience uses brain scans to show that our brains are actually hardwired for sociability and connectedness. Our brains literally light up in the presence of others. The brain waves of humans who collaborate actually synchronize, possibly explaining participants' increased creativity and productivity. Brain research is still exciting new news. This revelation has enormous implications for how we teach children and how we learn as adults. We agree emphatically with the 40,000 teachers. We need to work together, literally, to genuinely connect face-to-face, preferably in teams, in our own classrooms where it counts. Intimidating at first, working together in classrooms soon proves invaluable. The truth is we are stronger and more creative together. We are greater than the sum of our parts. 19 years have passed since coaching gurus Beverly Showers and Bruce Joyce summarized the evolution of peer coaching in 1996. First proposing on-site peer coaching professional development in 1980, they continued to build a remarkable body of evidence to improve teaching. Their work is often the centerpiece of professional development literature today. We'll tell you more about current findings a bit later. Here's what Showers and Joyce discovered. I quote, "Regularly scheduled coaching sessions focused on classroom implementation and the analysis of teaching, especially students' responses, would enable teachers to practice and implement the content they were learning. The results were consistent. Implementation rose dramatically whether experts or participants conducted the sessions." Let me repeat that. Implementation rose dramatically whether experts or participants conducted the sessions. Why not create permanent structures, they asked, that would enable teachers to study teaching on a continuous basis? Despite 3+ decades of staff development evidence that implementation rates soar from 0 to 5% to 90% and greater, with the addition of about 25 sessions of coaching, the classroom coach is still a rare animal. Today, the number of school districts using coaching in any form is still woefully small. While peer coaching is slowly finding its way into U.S. schools, we already know that it is a proven approach to change teacher practice. The coaching model is different from the traditional conception of pedagogy, where there's a presumption that after a certain point the student no longer needs instruction. You graduate, you're done, you can go the rest of the way yourself. In Asia, teacher training does not end upon graduation, it just begins. Senior teachers mentor new teachers. Working together, Asian teachers hone teacher skills and national curriculum content. Polished like stones, these are passed on from one teacher, one faculty, and one generation to another. International academic excellence is their result. U.S. school reform efforts have focused on developing professional learning communities, PLC. The idea is that we can solve problems together. We heartily agree. Early versions of PLCs were often book discussions centered around the conference table, eventually derided as collaboration by some PLC experts. While the content discussed around the conference table has since become more targeted, something more is needed. A very important shift is underway, moving collaboration into classrooms. Coaching means focusing on what counts most, the interaction between the teacher and the student and the curriculum, where it counts most, in your own classrooms. In 2010, the prestigious journal Education Week published a special report on professional development. Its key findings echoed Showers and Joyce. Take a look. Cutting-edge professional development focuses not only on content, but on minute-by-minute teaching decisions. Our participants call this work in-the-moment coaching, what we do best, and what teachers learn to do for each other. Peer coaching does this in teams. Dynamic, classroom-based peer coaching teams are the true heart of a PLC. You most certainly can do Coaching What Works as do-it-yourself professional development to transform your own teaching. 50% of participants say that Coaching What Works is so clear that it can work without a coach. It's entirely possible to take this journey solo, but if you ask other teachers to take the journey with you, you will have more fun, learn more, grow faster, and develop friendships among colleagues when you begin to share your own experience and knowledge with each other. Coaching What Works not only gives you new clarity and certainty in your own teaching, but taking focused action as a team results in exponential growth for the entire team. I repeat, taking focused action as a team results in exponential growth for the entire team, and it gives all future professional development more traction. Speaking of traction, coaching is gaining traction in U.S. schools. Most, however, is one-on-one coaching. Having support is always preferable to having no support, but our experience has proven without a doubt that peer coaching is far more impactful. Here's why. Coaching gurus Showers and Joyce have been studying coaching since the 1980s. Their largely overlooked findings tell us that teachers require on average about 25 guided practice opportunities to incorporate anything new of substance into our teaching routine. Old habits die hard. Whether modeling or merely providing a lesson debrief, a single coach working with a single teacher will likely never hit this critical number, 25. But if a team of 4 to 5 teachers do micro-teaching, that is to watch each other practice applying any given element, such as how to teach vocabulary explicitly, in a very few coaching days, it becomes relatively easy to reach sufficient guided practice opportunities. Watching someone else teach often provides nearly as much value as teaching oneself, sometimes even more. Observers can focus because we're not responsible for teaching the lesson. Education Week's findings show that 30 to 100 hours of professional development are required to boost student scores. In other words, if our goal is to actually increase student achievement, then we must spend way more practice time than we now get in typical workshop professional development. Way more. Practice, practice, practice. This process is thoroughly engaging, even exciting. Personally, I learn something every time I watch another teacher teach. The research works. The process works. See for yourself. Watch the next free video coming right up. It's an interview with 2 super talented, veteran, site-based coaches as they describe their experience. Definitely worth the watch. That's coming right up. But before that, let's talk about some myths in education.